Hey, how's it going, my coffee friends? Hey guys, my name is Tony, and you're watching Faith and Coffee Bean. If you watch this later on, you are watching 100% an unscripted, live, okay, I'm gonna repeat that, live stream video. Y'all, I am a big coffee dork. I'm a coffee nerd, and that's really the reason why I started this channel. So I'm going to ask you right now, if you are a fan of coffee and you are a coffee person like me, I'm going to ask you right now to hit the subscribe button. I try to go live about 2 or 3 times a week, guys. I do my regular videos, but I like to go live because I really like to talk to y'all. I like getting feedback. I like getting questions, and it just kind of helps me. Sounds kind of goofy, but it's like iron sharpens iron. You help me with my craft, and I help you with your craft, and we kind of figure out this fun little hobby that you could do at home called espresso and coffee. Not just a food; it can be a hobby. You guys, I'm doing this out of my work at home office. So what you're seeing right here is my work at home office. In my day job, I am a department head of an insurance company. But I every now and then I got to take a little break from the insurance world and have some espresso and goof around with y'all. So just to kind of show you, today we are going to be talking about conical burrs versus flat burrs. Okay, this tends to be kind of one of the number one questions that I see someone asking, and it's one of the questions kind of I had getting back into espresso. I've shared my story a lot with you guys, but just quick synopsis. In college, I worked in a cafe, and then for years and years, I just did pour overs, and I didn't have an espresso machine at home, a good one anyway, because I just thought I had to have the best. And over the last few years, guys, there's been a total crazy change in the espresso business and espresso industry, I should say, where maybe it's after COVID. People are trying to make coffee at home, and there's a lot of really cool things like this Gemini G3007L, which you can make great espresso at home. And then there's things like this. This is the Shardor 64 millimeter grinder. Y'all, this thing, if you haven't watched my videos, I'm going to ask you, go ahead and check those out when you get some time. This grinder is a game changer grinder. So what makes it special is it's very similar to something like a DF64. And it uses flat burrs, which tend to be more kind of like industry standard, I should say. And I'm going to show you a flat burr right now, just so you kind of know what I'm talking about. So flat burrs, here's the flat stock burrs that are in this grinder. So these are the stock burrs, and they're gorgeous. These are designed for espresso, and they're very similar to a very popular geometry. I'll just put it that way. Let me just show you guys the top half right here. So the top half, that's, I think that one's yeah, actually I think that was the top and this is the bottom. So what happens inside a flat grinder is that one of the basically halves, the top half, sits static, and then the bottom spins. And what's happening is a lot of folks say that flat gives more uniformity and will give sweeter than conical. Okay, that's the big question. And basically, it's just two different methods of crushing your coffee beans. So here's the stock. I just did a video where I replaced the burrs inside here with multi-purpose high uniformity burrs, and they're titanium coated. They are the red ones, and I might show you all kind of what they look like here at the end. I might pull it apart and show you guys that. And then the conical. So conical burrs, and that's what I have over here. So this is one of my favorite conical burr grinders, you guys. I really love this grinder because really the big reason why I love it is that this is the Hybrew G5. It's small, it's compact. A room is a I don't have a lot of room in my coffee corner here. Y'all, I have a desk that I put in the corner that I create as my coffee station, and it's very small, so I don't have a lot of room, and I love the fact that it has a very small form factor. This has a, I want to say 38 millimeter conical burr, And I'm actually going to show you guys the Burr in a little bit too. So this is the difference between conical and flat. So flat, it's like a pancake. It's flat. And it kind of makes sense. This grinder is really cool because, like I said, the compact form factor is really nice. But let me just show you guys. Just trying to get the camera in a good position here for you. Let's get this over here. There we go. It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You could actually do it, have it in different setups. But with this one, think of conical as like basically a pyramid. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove the collar, and I want to show you guys how easy this particular grinder is to open and clean, and I'm going to actually show you the burrs inside. So this one is just really easy. I love it because it's keyed, so it's always going to be on point. You don't have to find that 0 point when you put this in. As long as those keys line up. Here's the top part, and that's actually what crushes the beans. So these are the upper burrs, and that is that first part that's going to crush the beans. And then here's the magic, okay? So inside here, as you can see, this is kind of like a pyramid shape. It's vertical, triangle, you know. Yeah, no, I'm saying the wrong word. Oh my gosh, a diamond point. A pyramid, there we go. Again, guys, live video. My brain is in work mode. And I'm dyslexic. I'll say the crazy things. But you can see right there the way it breaks it down. The beans are going to go through the upper burr. They're going to get broken down. And they're going to have a different pattern they're going to take. And here is the thing I'll tell you right now. Yeah, again, guys, so easy to open and clean. That's why I really love this grinder. If you go ahead and put this back on and you line up the arrow, it fits right in. And as long as those keys are in there, it's just simple. You just tighten it back down till you get to that 0 point. You'll see it because it'll say Turkish and 0. But just super cool. So here's the big debate, okay? Because there are people that will debate this probably to the death. What's better, conical versus flat? So there is an amazing grinder called the Niche. If you've never heard of it, I'm going to be shocked if you're into espresso. But the Niche grinder is very famously one of the most famous conical burrs grinders that's out there. And I like to think of it, and I say this in a loving way, the iPhone of grinders, because when it came out, it changed everything, guys. Beautiful grinder. Some people have two of them, one for light roast and one for dark roast, maybe one for decaf versus regular. They have a cult following. It is a conical burr, and that is it's probably when I think of a conical grinder, that's actually the first one I think of. Fellow makes, is it the Opus? That's a conical, and the Ode, which is the flat burr. There's definitely different options. I kind of like this because these are my two favorite budget king versions of each grinder. So I am probably going to end up keeping this as one of my setup, probably how I'm going to do my setup going forward. Y'all, I am so tempted to buy a DF54, guys. I am really thinking about buying one. I've heard so many great things, but it's like I have this beautiful grinder and I have another grinder. Do I need it? I might have to get it, y'all. But this is the setup I'm probably going to go with, so I can get best of both worlds. So today, I'm going to go ahead and brew at least 2 shots. We're going to start with this grinder over here. We're going to, because I already know this grinder very well, I don't have to worry about zeroing in stuff. I'm going to go ahead and use that grinder, the high brew, because it's awesome to start off with. And then we're going to use the exact same beans, and I'm going to use the exact same portafilter, exact same everything, same basket, and we're just going to test them out and do a little duo. Like I said, guys, this is completely unscripted. You're watching a live video. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you're a coffee geek like me. I try to go live about 2 or 3 times a week or more. You know, if you have a question, let me know in the comments below. If you just got some great advice from me, please let me know. I know that sounds silly, but the reason why I kind of started this channel was really just to get more connected with the community. Today, I'm going to be finishing up this bag. This is Airship. This is a washed Peruvian. This is the Lima Norte, and it is an excellent, a good example of a good light roast. And I'm hoping the flat burrs, multi-purpose burrs I just installed in this will really shine through. But I'm curious, I have not run these beans through this grinder. So let's go ahead and get 18 grams, get it started. Let's have some coffee, y'all. I have not had an espresso today, and I need one. I'm jonesing for my espresso. I tend to wait to have my first espressos if I'm going to do a live with y'all, because it's better that way. I get to share in the experience. All right, guys, 18 grams. I'm using dye fluid. Actually, it is the dye fluid scale, but I just did a video, another live video, guys. Coffee meter, I think that's what they're calling themselves, cafe meter. They're the new budget version of, like, a budget sister company of dye fluid, and this is the new scale, which is basically the dye fluid scale. All right, so we're at 18.8. And I will be doing RDT on each one of these. I want to have good success here, guys. So right at 18 on this one. I have about 2 pulls left in this bag. This bag is just about done. I've been a really big fan of Airship, guys. I really dig in the quality of what I'm seeing. I love that they have a roast date on there. Let's go ahead and RDT. Okay. And then we're going to be using the catch cup over here. I'm not going to do direct to portafilter. And let's, just because, actually, I could try to do a little slow feed action, but I think I'm going to do this one at about, I'm going to say about a 10 is where I want to be. Okay, so we're going to do this at a 10. I got the catch cup right there. Just want to, yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and get the beans in there. Yeah, I love the fact that bellows come on this automatically. The retention's been pretty good with this thing. Yep, nice and clear. Okay. And I'm using a MH Bomber basket. It's been sitting in my portafilter, getting nice and hot because I have a boiler in this unit. This is the unit that has the boiler on top. If you've heard of the Turnt Legato or the Me Coffee, if you're in the States and in the world, other parts of the world, other regions, they call it different things. That's this. So Gemini is the big daddy company that makes all those units. They partner with other brands to put their unit out in different markets. And this is the Gemini. All right. Nice and pretty. Let's go ahead and do some WDT. This is the first shot. There might be a little bit dialing in, you guys. Kind of throw that out there. I do these because, you guys, I am not Mr. Instagram. I'm not Mr. Instagram shot on coffee. I do have my Instagram. There's nothing wrong with Instagram. But I always tell my wife, sometimes I see some of the shots and I'm like, oh, man, those are cool shots. And I need to record most of them. But I am not a professional. I am just a home hobbyist. Home hobbyist, dude, for sure. You want to see someone make mistakes and get a little chuckle? Watch my videos. Because I will make mistakes, y'all. Okay. Recently, I had someone leave a comment, and it was a very nice comment. I was doing my WDT and a blind box at the same time for a long time. It was an older video, and I was like, oh, you had great advice. But yeah, definitely, yeah, it was one of my old videos. You guys, I'm still learning. I'm still getting back into coffee. You know, when I was a barista, it was like 20 years ago, had frosted tips, and it was the early 2000s. So a lot has changed, y'all. A lot has changed. Those are the days before Mr. Hoffman, as Lance calls him, was Espresso Daddy, Coffee Daddy. Uh, he was new. So that was a name I didn't really hear too much until a certain point. So, but yeah, back in the day, I'm in my mid-40s, guys. So I'm getting up there. Back in my day. All right, let's go ahead and pull our first shot. Let me get you guys a little closer. Get a little better perspective here. Actually, yeah, there we go. So you can see the gauge. Yeah, I might be off on the gauge. What's really cool with the version 2 of this unit that Gemini hasn't put out in the States, but Espresso Outlet has it under the turret, and Me Coffee has it. The version 2, there's an OPV adjustment you can do. This OPV, I believe, is stuck at 12, and I believe it can be adjusted, but I have yet to do it. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get this first one going. 18 out, shooting for about 35 or so out for water. That's coming out a little fast, but not too bad. It's hitting 9 bars, kind of where I want it to be pressure-wise. So, again, not too bad. A little fast for my liking. 37 and 17 seconds. That was, yeah, it was a little fast, but that's okay. Let's, we'll work with that for right now. Okay, let's give it a little stir, a taste. We'll put on the refractometer. It's the biggest thing is the taste. Definitely some overspray. Could have done better on this shot, for sure. Again, more like what I said. If you're looking for perfection, you're probably not going to find it on this channel. But if you're looking for a guy that's learning just like you, you're in a good place. All right, let's put this on the refractometer. And this is the dye fluid refractometer. This one is on special with the link. Go check out my last video if you want to see that link. The new company is putting it out for less, so that's really good. So 10.47 is where we're at. 10.47. Let's take a quick look there. 10.47, so definitely in espresso zone. Let's give it a little taste. Cheers, everybody. First espresso for the day. Delicious. This is good. It's got a good mouthfeel. Believe it or not, this is the first time I'm trying this coffee with a Conical. I want to drink it all right now, but I'm going to kind of save it a little bit here. Put it up top, keep it hot, and we're going to pull another shot on the flat burr. So, again, 10.47. Let's put that over here. And let's get another 18 grams, and we'll put it on the Shardor. Yeah, this thing is awesome, guys. This grinder has been like my diamond in the rough, or what was it? Diamond in the rough. What is it called in the Latin? What do they call that in there? Getting Disney style. You know, this has been such a treasure. It's so cheap. It's so affordable. I know folks who have 2 of them just so they could have different Burr sets in it. Afterwards, like I said, I'll pull this up and I'll show you guys the Burrs. How about that? So this one, the true 0 is 10, and I've been getting pretty good results, right about 10. So I'm going to go with about 21 is where I want to be. So whenever you put in aftermarket Burrs, you're going to lose that true 0 point because your grinder is really set up to be specifically for the stock Burrs. And since it's not stock Burrs, just keep that in mind when you do Burr upgrades. Again, using the same airship beans, we're going to do 18 grams, exactly the same. And this is the big duo. Okay, so I'm hoping for very similar results, but I really want, it's about taste. It's not about necessary technique on this one because I'm using the exact same techniques. I'm actually going to even use the same dosing cup and all that silly stuff, using the same porter filter. And I really want to get exact here 18.2. Right on the money, 18. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to clear the porter filter here in just a minute. Let's get our catch cup. Make sure it's all clean. I'm going to put it right there. I actually never use this catch cup with this unit. Yeah, I think it should work like that. Cool. Alrighty. Going to do Ross droplet technique. Give it a little shake. Start up the engines. So the one thing I've noticed that this particular grinder has been going a little bit slower since I put in the aftermarket Burrs. Oh, bummer. I just realized something. I do have a feeling there's more beans in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and just run this a little bit longer. Like I said, guys, I'm putting those aftermarket multi-purpose Burrs. There we go, all clear. I think I was creating a little bit of a bottleneck right there, if you could see the grounds. It just because I was using this other catch cup that's really not designed for it, so I'm actually gonna scoop some of this in. I have a sneaky feeling that this is too fine, and I'm gonna choke it because I could just tell this is so soft. These burrs have just been crazy soft. I mean, the multi-purpose burrs have just been like crazy. I'm telling you guys, I just have a feeling I'm going to choke this one. So we'll see. I might have to do a little bit of adjustment here, but if I choke it, I choke it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get this out. Let's clear it. Using everything exactly the same. Ooh, so hot. Okay, just set that there. Ooh, dang, that's hot. Goodness gracious. That is the purpose of having the boiler. Okay. Wow, so fine. Again, flat burrs, Shardor 64 millimeter upgraded with multi-purpose, high uniformity, I believe. No, multi-purpose. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Look at that. I can already tell the difference between the two. But again, that could just be I need to dial it in a little more with this one. Fingers crossed, guys, because I have a hunch. Definitely crossing the fingers on this one. Okay. All right, so we are zeroed out. I'm going to shoot for the same. Yeah, look at that pressure. Dang it. What a bummer. I knew I was going to do that. I only have so much of those beans left too. That's a part where, yeah, that's crazy. Bummer, bummer, bummer. And guys, that is what I've been finding with this particular grinder. Now that I've done this upgrade, it just goes so fine. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, that's not even, I don't want to put the pressure on the machine. Okay. Literally. OPV's probably like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's okay. Learning curve, guys. Learning curve. I'm still new to having that grinder with that particular setup. So that is definitely a learning curve moment. And I am going to shoot some water through this to clean this up because this is very full of gunk now. All right, let's put some water in this. And then we'll try it one more time. And we'll give the big test, the verses. I just pushed it up about 6 clicks. So I'm really, like I said, true 0 for me was 10. This is about a 26 is what I'm going to shoot for. Let me just put some water through this really quick. Nice and hot. Clear it out just a tiny bit. Okay. Let that get nice and hot, and let's get some more beans going. Hope I don't run out, because like the whole purpose, guys, I was really trying to do pit the same beans, same machine, same everything. I think I'll have enough. Live video, guys, live video. Hey, Vladimir, how's it going, man? How you doing? All right. Okay, so we're at 15. Oh, that's shooting over. Yeah, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I did someone did give me a suggestion. Maybe I should do an ongoing time that I go online and everything. I'm gonna tell you guys the hardest thing is, like I said, I'm the department head of an insurance company. So this is literally me like taking my lunch hour or, you know, just a break sometimes to do these. And I kind of do it in between my meetings because we all need an escape. It is the benefit from working from home. I get to bring my coffee gear with me. I love working at home. It's my favorite thing. It's like the one thing that came out of that time period where I was like, cool, work at home, I'm down. All right, let me go ahead. I'm just going to do direct to portafilter on this one because I think, yeah, I don't want to repeat what just happened. Okay, so let's go ahead. Nice and messy, guys. Sorry about that. Let's clean this up a tiny bit. Just wanted everything to be better. Okay. Love this new scale. This is from iCap. Okay. Let's get a dosing ring on this puppy. Hard start. Yeah, I knew it was going way too fine because I could just see the grounds coming out so slow. This new Burrs are just been phenomenal for going fine, but you could go too fine way too easy. There we go, nice and clear. Let's give it do a little bit of evening out, tiny bit. Let's do that WDT. Guys, what is your favorite WE tool? You know, I've got a lot of them, you know, I always kind of wonder what's everyone's favorite. All right. Use the gravity distributor here, norm core. Nice and flat and good. There we go. I can already tell this is going to be better. Let's put that puck screen right up top. Lock it in. Okay, guys. Hoping that we get better results here. Okay. Let's zero this out. Interesting. There we go. Man, I hate when I don't have the scale in the right spot. There we go. Cool, cool. So the pressure buildup is still pretty fast, but I'm seeing drops. It's definitely not where I'd want it to be at all, guys. This is still going so slow. Oh my goodness. I am going to go ahead and let this ride, even though I know it's going to irk some people. I know people get all real kind of icky when I let stuff like that happen, but I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of this coffee, and I really want to make sure I could taste the two kind of comparison. All right, so I'm at 20 and 38, way too long. I'm trying to get to about 35 or so. That's what I did on the last one. There we go. Let's stop right there. 36.1, 49 seconds. Way too long, but that's okay. I have a feeling it's still going to taste pretty good, and I really want to, you know, I don't want to run out of the beans. So let's go ahead. Let's give this a little stir. It looks pretty, and there is some good crema on there. These were pretty fresh beans, y'all. Let's go ahead and put on the refractometer, and then we'll taste the two. I know it's been, my other shot's been sitting up there for a while. Too long, probably. All right, let's see here. It's testing it. 9.64. The last one was a 10.47, I believe. So, you know, that doesn't surprise me. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to, you know, we'll just give it a shot here. Let's taste this. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Interesting. Okay. So, I know the shot's been sitting here for a while. But this is the conical. This is the flat. Interesting. So, the conical, to me, and again, taste is subjective. Taste is your taste buds, okay? The conical tastes a little more bright and is a little more mouthy. Like it has a little bit more, you know, stuff to it, like velocity or, you know, a little bit of a stronger mouthfeel, which, believe it or not, I tend to like. The flat tastes more juicy. It definitely has a lighter mouthfeel. It tastes sweeter. It just tastes really juicy. There's just no other way to say it. This is not necessarily a floral, but this is their herbs and spices. The tasty notes that they put on here are golden delicious apple, macadamia nut, and cocoa. And I really do believe they got this perfect as far as what it is, because y'all, it tastes delicious. It really does. This actually, this, ooh, don't drop it. This tastes quite good. There's just no other way to say it. Just very, it's just brighter. That's the best way to put it. Again, I'm working with more of a light roast, guys. versus this one. It's good. It's delicious. But it has more of a mouthfeel to it. Now, I actually kind of like that. When I have my espresso, uh, I I would take espresso over a pour over. I love pour overs. I make tons of pour overs in our house. This isn't a house where we hate pour overs. We love pour overs in this house. My son is constantly doing pour overs. But I like my espresso more. I tend to pull more espresso shots. So as far as that goes, guys, I sometimes prefer the conical. But I'm so happy I made this upgrade because it definitely is a big difference taste wise. That where you can tell that difference. Both make great coffee. It really kind of comes down to taste and what you prefer. I would definitely not say, hey, you can conical versus flat. If I was going to recommend one and you were only going to buy one grinder, I actually think this grinder is one of the best budget grinders, hands down, you could possibly get right now. It's crazy good. The fact that it has the flat burrs, the 64, it's upgradable. You cannot beat it. If you're looking for a good dependable, this is a good dependable, 100%. I have a Gemini has a grinder that I have in my kitchen that's conical, and it is lovely, has very fluffy grounds, and I'm going to highly recommend it. I recommend it. It's the Moonlight or the Molite, and it is a really good one. And these are very, very similar. Price point, I could tell you right now, I've seen this on eBay, Ollie for sometimes 140. It is gone Amazon, and all Amazon links, you could click on them that I have that do help support the channel. If you click on those, it's about 150 to 180. That's where I tend to see it. And that for that price, it's definitely a good, dependable grinder. Like, there's just no other way to say it. It's a great grinder. I'm going to go ahead and pull one quick shot of our dark roast. Really one that's going to pack a punch. Okay. Because I've gone light, so I'm going to really quickly do a dark roast, and we're going to try this out here, guys. So if you've joined me after, this is a live video. I like to go live 2 or 3 times a week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notifications. Kind of go live random times. I'm going to keep this and this. I'm not going to even touch the dials because this is just kind of the best comparison I could do, but I don't even want to touch the dials. So we'll go ahead and we'll do each 18 grams. Okay. This is a Burre, single origin Vietnamese. It says medium roast, guys, but I'm going to tell you right now, even their medium is a little bit darker. This is definitely, versus a light, this is almost like a comparison dark to light, even though it says medium. I really, really love Burre for making milk drinks and making lots of crema. It is 100% Robusta, so it is Robusto, so it's definitely has a lot of caffeine on it. So it's the only thing I'll tell you guys with Burre. Robusto is lots of caffeine. Be ready for a punch. There's no other way to say it. So let's go ahead. Let's pull this really quick. Love the fact this one has bellows included. The Shardor does have bellows included if you like a big hopper. I like doing single dosers, so the hopper I have on it is aftermarket 100%. There we go. Nice and clear. The retention on it's been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with the retention on that thing. I tend to use the bellows a lot, and I'm a big advocate of cleaning out my grinders a lot. So always a good idea to clean out your stuff. Okay. So we're gonna make this one fast for science. Okay. So that's a great debate. Do you go flat burr or conical? Let me know in the comments and below what y'all choose. Like, what would you rather do? Conical or flat? What's your favorite grinder? You know, that type of thing. Can't mix up the cups. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and pour this here. Yeah, it came out a little fast, but yeah, and not definitely the pressure I want at all. Oh, about 32 and 14. Yeah, that was way too fast. Again, more dialing in would be probably necessary, but I'm kind of doing this more for pure curiosity. Sometimes, you know, I get one of those, the wild hair, you know, where you're just like, hey, I wonder what this would be like, exact same setting. And I have more coffee for the birdie, so I am curious. Okay. Oops. Yeah, plus, I like to have my coffee where it's like hot comparison. The other one wasn't quite as hot. Okay. And let's do this. Actually, no, we use the same portafilter. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a little test here, a little taste. Again, this is the Conical. Good crema up top. I mean, it looks pretty. Uh, 12.51, so that's pretty high. That was a fast shot, and to get 12.51 out of that, wow, crazy. All right, so let's give it a little taste. Cheers. I'm not going to drink this whole thing. That'd be like crazy. Yep, that's exactly what I thought. Very, again, in comparison, that would be like dark, even though it's not a dark roast. In comparison, that's like, boom, that's like rocket fuel style. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear this really quick. Okay. Nice clean puck. Came right out. Nice and clean. And this is using that exact grind setting I did before. I'm not changing anything. Just for pure curiosity here, to give it a good comparison of the same. I'm sure there's a more scientific thing, guys. You know, go to Lance, go to James Hoffman, go to the pros. You know, I'm the goofball guy, just kind of playing around with stuff. So, you know, I'm never going to claim anything but that. If you're looking for a goofball, trying to figure out coffee, you're in the right spot. Maybe you're a goofball like me. That's okay. Goofballs are fun. All right. It sounds clear. It sounds good. It sounds like it got it all out, which is awesome. Okay. All right, guys. Let's give this a little WDT action. There we go. Sometimes I like going through it fast because it just kind of reminds me of working in a cafe. I was just talking to my son. I have a 17-year-old, and we're talking about going to colleges and stuff. And I was like, dude, you got to get a job at your college cafe. It was a great experience for me. I loved it. I love having customers come in, talking with your guest, the banter, you know, figuring out what someone's favorite drink is. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I really love. Hey, how's it going? Howdy. You know, I miss that. And I often tell my wife I've thought about starting up a coffee truck. You know, I've always had a dream about starting a not-for-profit and going out and feeding the homeless and giving them coffee. My background, guys, one of the reasons why I've called this channel Faith in Coffee Bean is because I used to be a pastor many moons ago, like 20 plus years ago. And when I did that, I worked with a lot of cafes when they had excess food that was going to go to waste, and they would basically donate it to homeless. I worked with a lot of homeless shelters in New York City. Worked with the homeless shelter out in LA. I've worked with a lot of different organizations, and I think it's a cool thing to be able to give back. Wow, look at that Crema. What a difference. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was getting almost missed it. 35 and 28 seconds. That's more what I'm looking for, y'all. That's a little better. That's what I'm talking about. That's definitely a sweet spot. But yeah, I've always kind of thought, I have a good friend of mine that has his own mobile kitchen out in Rochester, and he works with the homeless, feeding the people of Rochester, and not just the homeless. I'm just a big believer in it, helping out, and he works with a lot of areas that's just regular people like you and me that are on hard times, and that's such a good thing, you know. It would be really great to have an organization like that or start that up. 13.45, definitely a deeper abstraction right there, you know. TDS a lot higher. Oops, losing it. 13.45. And let's give this a little taste, because that's what it's all about, guys. So this is more of a darker roast. Cheers. This is rocket fuel. I'm not going to drink all this. Oh, man. Smoother. Way smoother. Flat Burrs, way smoother. Conical. Definitely a better mouthfeel. So that's kind of the great debate right there, guys. Do you go with Conical or do you go with Flat Burrs? You know, that's a decision that you need to make yourself. I like them both, so I got both. I'm that much of a geek that I've got both, you know, multiple grinders. So, you know, I also was really blessed because Highbrew sent this out to me for review. So full disclosure on that one. This one purchased was one of the best purchases I've ever made. I cannot recommend this one more. The Shardor is awesome. 64 millimeter conical burrs. I'm going to show you guys one more time in case you didn't see it in the beginning of the video. These are the stock burrs you get with this. Okay, stock burrs. They're awesome. They are very similar to a very fancy burr. I'm not saying that they're at that same level because they're not, but definitely it's going to give you a great result. I want to show you guys the inside of the burr that I just did the upgrade on, just so you guys can see that really quick. So basically, let me go ahead and make sure I have enough room to take off the collar. I had tried to put in Mazzer burrs, but the Mazzer burrs have a different middle, I think the middle portion is a little bit taller, or the actual burrs themselves are a little bit taller. So it wasn't quite fitting into this. Here's the upper burr set. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? This is a titanium coated upper burr set and lower burr set. They are generic burrs. They're MP, multi-purpose burrs, but they are generic. They are not the big boys. That's kind of famous out there. I just want to make sure to say that. These are not the famous ones. Definitely generic burrs. But guys, I tend to be very frugal. It's very hard for me to spend my own money on certain things. And if a company wants to send it out to me for review so I can show it to y'all, I am down with that. But if it's going to be me, I'll do that later on. You know, putting that in or purchasing something. I watch every review. Tom's Coffee Corner, Han, all those guys and gals, Morgan, Coffee Kev, you name it. I watch it and I figure out before I make a purchase, I'll do all my research. So if you guys are like me and you like kind of getting all that stuff, I try to give that type of information because that's the kind of stuff I look for. I really appreciate y'all for hanging with me. Again, my name's Tony. You're watching Faith and Coffee Bean. You guys have a lovely day. Thanks so much.